The mystical and magical Sedona. The entrance into Sedona.
Hello and welcome to the next instalment of National Parks that Rainbow Serpent, my crystal skull, has requested for me to do to find out the spiritual information and the truth about these areas and why he would like to visit them one day. Yes, you might think that I'm going finally mad, that I've lost my marbles, but I have been requested by him to wear my rainbow scarf and to put it onto my crown chakra, and that he wanted blue colour therapy to go into my crown chakra today. So I'm just doing as I'm told. Reasons will unfold later on why. Yes, I'm feeling a bit self-conscious and a bit awkward, but hey, that's the spiritual journey that you go on. If you listen, then things happen. So I always just do as I'm told. So with Sedona, that's one we're working on today. It is such a mystical, magical place. All spiritual people talk about going to Sedona and the spiritual adventures that they had there, and that you have to get there one day. It's incredible and da-da-da-da-da. I didn't understand the pull and why everyone really wants to go there. I never understood what was so special or important about that place. But after remote viewing last night and astral traveling there and being in a deep meditation with my skull, I kind of get it now. I've never been there personally, as you can tell, but I kind of get it now. There's so much that is happening there and a lot of undercurrent things that is happening. So we'll go through it all. The first I get is a huge trinity there, and a trinity I mean as in the landscape there, and the trinity of energy and trinity of ley lines and pathways and song lines all intersect there. It's like they all cross over each other. So I keep getting like crosses. Every time I was walking along a path there, I kept feeling like I was walking over a cross. That's the only way I can explain it. My feet get itchy when I'm walking over something that is got energy attached to it, or it's something's about to happen with the earth or something like that. Then my feet seem to react. So the trinity there is, there's 3 levels, which is in the photos that will continue. So there's the 3 levels of Sedona, which is the 3. Then there's also 3 different types of rocks that are placed there. So that's another 3. I also get a huge connection with the number 5 popped in, and there's like 5 big major waterfalls, and it's said that there's about 5 vortexes of Sedona, 5 very important vortexes. But when I questioned Rainbow Serpent on this, he said there's actually 8. He said there's an affinity of energy that runs through that place. So that could be the crosses that I would see, because when you've got the affinity, then you've got that intersection in the middle where the 2 circles cross over. So I kept seeing like this all the time in my visions of energy lines. So maybe that is what it is supposed to be. There's 8 vortexes in Sedona that intersect at certain parts. There's so many beautiful rock formations, and the one I kept seeing looked like a cathedral, and I kept having in my head cathedral rock. And then when I researched it later on, yeah, I saw it was called Cathedral Rock, which makes a lot of sense because it sure does look like it. There's also Bell Rock. So Cathedral Rock is definitely one of the hugest vortexes there. Like, I think that is the amplifier. I think Cathedral Rock is like the main dude there. It has so many entities, so many spiritual beings, so many people walking around it. I'm seeing crystals inside of it. I'm seeing like pillars and columns, and definitely a huge sacred place for rituals and for honouring and for ceremonies for all different kind of beings, not just the Native American Indians there, but also like all different spiritual beings have been there as well and paid homage to this magnificent rock feature. Another one of the vortexes is the Bell Rock, and you know, its name makes sense again. And this one is about vibration and about tones and about atonement. When you go in there, it's like a I feel like an echo sensation. I feel like a resonance of vibration in musical notes, and for each person who would step in there would receive a different note, a different theme, a different current that would run through them and help to align them and help to atone them. There's also Boynton Canyon vortex, and it's like a wave. It's a shape of I kept saying like a rock, like a wave, and then water, like a snake winding through it. I keep getting told this one has got great sacred knowledge, and it's about female energy lines down there, and it's about a female giving birth down there. So it might have been a very birthing place for the tribes. I also get told it's got to do with creation down there. It's like when they talk about their creation spots again, which we've talked in other videos. People there say that's the creation's place, that's the Garden of Eden. It could possibly well be. I can see a lot of births there, and I can see a lot of new beginnings there. Is it creation of the whole of the Mother Earth? Who knows? But I know it is a creation spot for certain tribes and certain entities. Yes, definitely. There's also airport vortex. Now, this one is really interesting. When I sat in here, when I astral traveled, I was just getting like zoom, 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 zoom. I could not get grounded. I could not get settled. It was also full-on energy for me in there. I just felt like waves rushing past me. I could feel like it was a drop-off zone for UFOs. I could feel like it was the star beings arrived there. I could see that like councils met there, spiritual councils met there. I can feel a lot of energy happening in that place of the airport vortex. And then we have Bear Hollow Canyon. This one's very interesting. This one I think has got to do with tribes on Earth and not so much the UFOs or star beings or other spiritual entities or beings. I feel like it's got more to do with tribes and council of tribes that were once all here. And I'm getting like there was maybe 4 to 5 different local tribes that would use this to walk through. As I said before, there's all these pathways and song lines, and I'd feel the tribes would walk through to their part, another tribe would walk through to their part, another tribe would walk through to their part. So I feel like sometimes they all stopped at a sacred place of that Bear Wallow Canyon and would sit and talk and communicate and say what's happening with each other's tribes and what they're facing and what's going on, and is where the fish is flowing and where the berries are and things like that. Like there's I feel like a huge like communication place there. Then you have Cow Pie's vortex. This one was quite dense energy for me. It was like you have to be very strong-willed and a strong person to sit in this vortex for a long time. It seemed to be like I would get electric shocks that would run through my body. I would sit there for about 10 minutes and everything was fine and really quiet, and I really couldn't feel the vortex energy at all. And then all of a sudden, then you'd get electric shock run through you, and I could see like these lightning bolts, and then they would like zap you, and you would like, whoa, okay, there's a vortex, okay, I'm in it now. And then you'd kind of be like in a whirlwind, like a cyclone energy spinning around, and you'd be like moving back and forth in this energy. It was very intense, very dense energy, very strong energy. So you have to be very, very grounded and you know, support yourself while you're in there and use all your spiritual tools to keep anchoring you down to Mother Earth. Then there is West Fork Canyon. And this one I kind of got more like of old military people and, you know, soldiers walking around and windows, you know, caves with windows, you know, different coloured rocks, different layers of coloured rocks. Very pretty. And I feel like this is a dimensional one. It's like the ships that we've lost and the planes that have gone down, and like the Bermuda Triangle I got here. Like this is their gateway or their portal. So some of the spirits that have gone and been lost and gone missing will come back through that portal and will walk around Sedona and kind of be back into their human form a little bit, and then go back through that vortex and through that portal again and back to where they're out in their dimension. So it's like a little escapism like I got with it. They come through to get grounded and get touched back in with Mother Earth again and to resonate with her energy again, and then boom, they have to go back through the dimension again. So it's not humans, but it's human spiritual forms that are coming through, like really lost old soldiers, really lost old Navy people, really lost the aircrafts that went down, all those missing case files of people. They're all coming through that vortex. So if you have lost anyone in really strange, mysterious circumstances, I would suggest to go to West Fork Canyon and sit there and just call them through that windows and see if you can see them through the other side of that, if you're psychic and you can see through it, or ask for their energy or ask for a confirmation that they're there, because I just feel like it's just a little sliding gate, and that happens there. Okay, then you've got Long Canyon, and it's got huge spiral energy there. It's like the spirals and the circles, and it's huge spiritual energy there in Long Canyon. I really loved that one. It was my second favorite. I loved Cathedral Rock the most, and then I loved Long Canyon. It just seemed so... It seemed masculine and feminine both at the same time. I could see a lot of male spirits, but I could also see a lot of female spirits. I also had a lot of children running around me and giving me flowers and putting flowers on my feet. It was such a sacred, special, ceremonial... it was really blessings. It was really, really lovely, really tender, really soft, really sweet. So I really, really enjoyed the energy there so much. Hi, baby girl. See, I'm talking about love and energy, and my female dog jumps up to gives me a kiss. So I also get a lot of grandmother energy there. Grandmother taking care of the young children, grandmother taking care of the guardian of the place. So it's a really great place to connect with the grandmother energy. I also got, and I don't know why, but you know me, I kept getting those dinosaurs that look like the big elephants with the huge hair and the huge mammoths. Thank you, angels, with the huge tusk, and all of them walking around, but in great big herds of them, not just a random one. I could see all of these massive mammoths in groups. I don't know what the official scientific name for a group of mammoths is, but them all walking around on this side, in and out, down in the canyons and down in these little water holes, drinking. So I don't know if they found mammoth bones there or they're still to find mammoth there, but I think they will, because there's definitely a lot of them in spirit form roaming around the whole place. I also get like mesa dwellings, or where the tribes would set up, and I see a lot of them around. They're no longer there now in physical form, but I definitely see them all around in spiritual form. I definitely hear female grandmother there talking all the time, and she's guarding the whole areas and looking after the whole areas. And she definitely can, you know, taps into people and she helps them while they're walking around. And I'm getting the name, okay, so I'm getting the name Spider Woman. I think that's her tribal name. A lot of spirals, a lot of doorways, you know, serve as a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual world there. Huge rocks with a circle in the middle so you can see through and you can look out over the horizon and you can look out over Sedona. I get 3 main ones of them, 3 main spiral doors. I also get there's huge butterfly connections there. Like I'm seeing lots of butterflies flying around. A lot of people that are passed over will take the spiritual form of butterflies. So I wonder, because of that, you know, all the vortexes we have actually create these entities that go into butterflies to fly around there just so they can be in the peace and the serenity and the spiritual connection. And from all of those doorways, they're just allowed moments in time just to, again, to tap back into the physical world. So the Sedona is like where the spiritual meets the physical. So these spiritual beings actually get moments or fragments here in Sedona to rejuvenate them for a little while and to reattach them to Mother Earth's energy. So it's hugely spiritual in that aspect, but the butterflies definitely, I keep seeing lots of them in different colours and coming down, and people having huge confirmations and huge, you know, aha moments with butterflies there. There's also, I got told it's the 11th chakra there. A lot of people say it's the sacral chakra. I don't get that at all. I'm getting it's like the 11th chakra there. It's got a unique frequency all on its own. It's very 5th dimensional hologram frequency there. It's not like the other places like Joshua Tree or Volcano National Park or Mount Sasha. This one is definitely the 5th dimensional energy flow. And when you look through certain rocks or through certain vortex places, you can definitely see all the holograms. And the circles in the rocks are just absolutely amazing openings. And these openings, as I was saying before, the caves that you can see through, which there's pictures later on in this presentation of them, they're definitely pulsating circles of light. Like you can see around the edges of them glowing, them flickering, and they flicker goes all the way around. It's really, really incredible. So I just call them the pulsating circles of light. I also get the main council that works there is Elohim, and they're there all the time, like non-stop, 24 hours, 7 days a week, if you want to talk in our time. And they're there and they're doing amazing work on that place. They help the vortexes to stay, you know, active and to stay pulsating. They work with the circles to keep their energy flowing, and they protect who comes in and out of those circles. They sit there in councils and they talk with the elders. They watch all the different star beings that come down and communicate with them. So I kind of call the Elohim like the rangers there, the spiritual rangers, because they're walking around controlling everything spiritually and psychically. There's also some other amazing rocks there. We've got the Courthouse Rock that I kept seeing, Lady Kachina Rock. That one is amazing. That is any females that want to get rid of the suppression of the male energy and want to work on themselves and work on the female line, go to this rock and sit there and meditate. Even better if you can sit there naked or topless or exposing yourself a little bit. Even better, because all the elementals there will come flying around you and protect you and seal you, and they'll let the lady of the rock, the old lady of the rock, I call her the old red lady of the rock, she'll come down and she'll guide you and she'll help you. She'll probably even bathe you, or she'll put some flowers around you like those children were doing to me. She's very, very, very special. There's also the upright rock, which is to me it's like a signature. Yes, you walk past this, now you're going into sacred land. So it's kind of like a guidepost, or like, here we are, it's here now, you walk past me, you're now into different vibration, you're into a different frequency. So I would stand near the upright rock and actually ask for permission to enter in, because I feel like that is a rock person or rock people, which I've done presentations on before. And there does seem to be on that upright rock, from what I can see psychically, it does seem to resemble a face. So I'd like to go there one day to see if that upright rock I'm seeing as the guardian of the place does actually have a face. If anyone knows that or has a picture of that, please send it to me. flippergemma@hotmail.com. Yeah, so there's a lot happening there. There's also the Boynton Canyon. I call that the heart of the place. It's the magical heart. It's all got to do about love there. It's got to do about soulmates. It's got to do with sex. It's got to do with flow. It's very, very special there. And putting your feet in the water or taking wedding photos or getting married in that location would definitely give any couples true blessings and honours. There's also Devil Kitchen, which is in the west, I kept getting, of Sedona, and that also has a huge face on it. Some people get a bit scared because of its name, Devil's Kitchen, ooh, and that it's a negative entity in that rock. It isn't at all. It's actually quite a dominant warrior man. Yeah, he's a bit aggressive. Yeah, he's a bit full on, but he's not negative. He's just quite dominant, and he's quite strong. So people get confused with that energy because it's in your face energy. So they think, oh, it has to be, something negative. No, it's just different personalities and different ways that the energy represents itself. He's actually quite a wise old man, but he'll tell you as it is. Like, he won't hold back any punches. But to me, I love those kind of entities because, they give me so much information, and it's not airy-fairy stuff. It's like, bang, in your face, bang, work it out. And I love that part because it sends me off on a great big journey of researching what they were saying. Also, I keep getting medicine. Everything there is medicine, like the plants for medicinal uses, for the stones, for the rocks, colors for medicinal uses, for those canyons with the water, medicinal uses. I feel like it was the first place of medicine or tribal medicine. That they all learnt there, they were all initiated there, they all had to do a part of service there, to learn all about that. Sorry, I'm shaking all the time, but it's when I work with this energy and I talk about the vortexes, sometimes my body starts to shake. Okay, so this is part 1. We'll see you soon for part 2.
The 3 levels.
So, part 2 of Sedona. I've had a little break and I've had a little refresh, and now I've come back to do part 2. So basically, we have a lovely sun rays coming in. Whoa, can't even see my hands. Look at that. Goes through my fingers. Anyway, part 2. So what I was also getting, that there's a goddess energy there, very feminine places there. There's also the masculine places, but there's definitely huge female energy places there. And one of the main goddesses that I feel work here, I'll have to spell it out to you because I wrote it down here on my paper, is Komwida. Pronounce that one, people. She works there, and her name, I got told by Rainbow Serpent, means the first people with medicine. So as I was talking at the end of part 1 about the medicine people there, there's definitely initiation. There's definitely a tribe that just works with Native American medicine and astral medicine and ether medicine is the three trinities I've got for the medicine there. Definitely if you go to Old Lady Rock that I was talking about before, and Upright Rock, and get permission to go to Old Lady Rock, sit there and talk with that goddess and find out her wisdom, find out her knowledge. She might want to introduce some new healing techniques for you, or some new products, or a new range, or just some new information that will inspire you and get you going. She definitely works with other women there, so if it's not her, other maidens of medicine might come in and they might help you also, or they might actually also offer you a healing that they can do on you. So be very appreciative and they're very thankful if they want to do that with you. They might request you to lay down a rock, or sit on a rock, or lay in the water, or cover your feet in sand, or to place some flowers around yourself, or whatever they want you to do. If it's not going to cause harm, of course, and they're not taking you off on a wrong direction with a fool spirit, take the opportunity of a healing, because I just feel like it's spiritually so much growth there. Again, there's such the huge sacred Trinity there that I just love that energy of the Trinity. And I see it comes in triangle form. So I'm not sure what all the triangles are, but I also get a lot of triangles, what I see with my psychic eye. So three very important places that I would like to see with Ozzy that he has requested is Montezuma Well. And I'm being told that there's warm water there for some reason. Hello, Bali. Yes, would you like to sit down, Bali? So I think she wants me. We'll put her here. Montezuma Well, which is warm water springs, or warm water that flows there. I don't know why I get warm water, but I do get warm water, and it's a lovely place to do a cleansing or purifying process there for yourself. And Ozzy wants to be put into the warm water and to be cleansed of all the energies of people holding him and touching him and communicating with him and tapping into him. And he said he wants like a clean slate of energy to work with again. So Boynon Canyon, that is the places I've talked about before, of the lady energy, and for bathing and for birthing and new cycles and rebirthing. So if you're wanting to really find yourself, ladies, and to find your path on this world and your life purpose as a woman, not so much what your career is going to be, but what you're here to do as a woman, I would go to that canyon and bathe yourself in that water, and just soak up the whole energy of the place, and call in the goddesses, and call in the old lady of the rock, and call in the red energy, and just bathe yourself in it. And then we have Mingus Mountain, M-I-N-G-U-S Mountain. That's for sun and alignment. I'm being told if you need a really good dose of vitamin D, go sit up there and absorb the energy. I get up there, there's like shrines that you can place yourself on and get a huge star alignment, I'm being told. I also see the Merkaba up there, so it would be working with the Merkaba energy coming down and aligning you and recoding, I just got told. So it'd be a place to recode your DNA sequence. Also, one of the highest peaks is Thunder Mountain. Go there, experience its energy. I feel like the air is different, the weather is different, the sky is different. The location is different. It's a very good place to go to re-energize, to bounce yourself up. It's like a booster, huge booster of energy there. Also go to Ark Cave, and that's a place just to sit and rest. So after you've gone to all the vortexes and you've done all the rituals and you've done all the purifying and cleansing and you've walked around and you've explored everything, try to end your day in Art Cave, just to rest, just to sit there and to absorb everything that you went through, and to go through just the process of it all, because we go on all these spiritual adventures and then we come home and then it takes us months to work it all out and to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and how to just to absorb it and to sit in it for a little while instead of going off to the next one and then we haven't, you know, finalized the last one. So that's a really good place just to sit, just to be, and just to let it all unravel and go, oh yeah, that's about that. Oh yeah, that's about that. So it's a very mental cave. It's where you can go into your mental processes and just let your mind, it's like a computer, just let your mind download it all and see what it all actually does mean and relate to you. Definitely a huge virgin energies I get there, and I call them celestial virgins, walk around, and they're the sun beloved maidens, and they're up there at Thunder Mountain and also up at Mignus Mountain as well. And there's huge maidens walking around with big bowls of water and big urns of water. I keep getting the name with one of them up there at Thunder Mountain, A-R-I-Z U-double-N-A, Azana. And she's up there. Talk to her. She will give you a lot of information, as I said. And she will help with the Merkaba and sun alignments, and I think she's one of the daughters of Ra as well, because she's so royal energy that comes through with her, and it's very familiar to me, that energy. There's also a lot of pictographs at Pal at Kiki. I would go there and have a look at those pictographs, because meditating on them will also help deepen your relationship to the entities and spiritual beings and energies that is there at Sedona. There's a special cave. I can see it. I don't know where it is. They wouldn't put it on the like a map for me. But they took me there in secret. They actually blindfolded me and took me into this cave. I'd like to go to Sedona one day to see if I could psychically find that cave from where I've sat astrally. And I'm being told it's the cave of birthing of the miracle boy, and that they don't let a lot of people into that cave because it's quite special, quite sacred. But on there's also some pictographs of this miracle boy. And I feel like one of the goddesses there, she gave birth to a female, and she gave birth to
The three layering of the stones.
Hi, welcome back to part 3 of Sedona, the spiritual channelings. As I was rudely interrupted by the last one, I was talking about the maidens and the goddesses and the celestial virgins that are there. That's the Trinity. I feel like you got the grandmother, which is the crone, and then you've got the goddesses, and then you've got the maidens. So that's the three feminine lines there present at that sacred site. I could also see very quickly, they took me to a ruins site with stoned terrace walls and stone houses, and a huge village along a cliff face. And they were flashing me up all the pictographs that were there, and some of them were quite alien looking and alien heads, and some of them were animals, and again with the spirals and medicine wheels, and you know, a lot of tribal elders, and a lot of their legends and a lot of their stories were represented on the walls. Very interesting pictographs. I'd say that there's huge spiritual information in them all. and love to go there one day and take photos. At the end of this presentation, there is some photographs of pictographs that I found through the research, and you're more than welcome to meditate on them, to pause the video and just to meditate on them and see what you pick up. Or you're welcome to also, why I do these presentations and why Aussie wakes me up with all this information, is so then you can also astral travel there or remote view there and pick up what you get there and see if it fits along with me. And if it does, great, and if it doesn't, then that's your truth. What I say is only what I get through my spiritual channelings. I'm never sure 100% until I go to those locations and actually put all the pieces of the puzzle together from what I've been seeing, because it's really hard to interpret channelings to what 100% their meaning is, unless I go there and feel the energy and get guided to spots, and then when I come home and unravel it all, then it all puts into place why I had to go there and what I had to do. All I know is when I take Aussie to these sacred sites, he knows what he's doing and he does what he needs to do there. He aligns it, he fixes it up, he talks to spirits. Again, I am only the channel between him and putting it out to the world. And I'm very aware of that it's the gifts that I've been given come from source, and so I'm to use them in the right and appropriate way. So if some of my information doesn't sit well with you, or doesn't resonate, or doesn't make sense to you, that's absolutely fine. I'm not trying to convince you in any way, shape or form. It's just what I get and I have to put out as I've been told. A lot of it rattles my brain, and it takes a lot of hours and hours of researching to work out what Rainbow Serpent is actually saying to me. So that's why I do these presentations. I do my channeling sessions, what I actually get through him, and then I show you my researched photographs and information that I can find, which might link in, might not link in. But it's to make up your own mind with it all as well. But please go there yourself from remote view or astral travel, or visit there and sit there and meditate and get your own spiritual truth of these places. I happen to love going to ruins and sacred sites, and I love seeing pictographs, and I love taking a photo of them and coming home and meditating with them, because each time I do, I'm definitely taken to a higher level of understanding. So that's my passion. Luckily, the skull wants me to go to all these different locations, so it's in tune with what I personally like to do and what it likes to do for me. So I'm really pleased with that. But definitely go to Sedona, definitely connect in with the trinities there, definitely connect in with the vortexes, definitely go to places and just absorb its energy and just be, embraced by it all. You definitely probably need more than one day to walk around Sedona from what I'm seeing in my head. I'd probably need like a week there just to see the ruins, just to see the pictographs, just to see all the rock formations, just to see all the canyons, just to see all the waterfalls. It's like totally overwhelming, but something I would so love to do. And I would love one day to take Aussie to the Hopi Indians. That's the tribe that he would like to meet. I know there's lots of other tribes there. As I've said before, I could see 4 to 5 different tribes intersect there and cross over each other there. But Hopi is the one that he wants to talk to, and he wants them to hold him, and he wants them to hold his energy and him to gain their energy. So I'm hoping sometime, if I hop on that sacred site there at Sedona, that I would be approached by one and they would know I'm coming, and that they would be happy to meet with Aussie. And I'm just happy to sit back and let that unfold. But it would be such an honour and such a blessing for me just to meet them and to get Aussie's path with them underway. So the ruins are magnificent. Like, from what I can see, walking around there would be absolutely awesome. And at the end of this presentation, it shows you the ruins and it shows you the things that I've been seeing psychically. So thank you everyone for listening, and sorry the last one was cut short. Yes, I've took my headdress off now. I had to go back to my normal self, whatever that is. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and look forward to the next presentation. Not sure what it is yet until he starts channeling through what he needs to do. But okay, thank you everyone. Bye.
Why so many spiritual people and enlightened people, and even the general public, are called to this place? Why is it so special to them? I know it's in magnificent in its glory and its rock formations, but is there a deeper level? Is there something why we need to go there and why we're called there? Why it is so talked about? I know the Trinity plays an important part here. There's so many three connections to this place, with the three layers, and then the three different stone layers, and then all the vortexes. And I feel like there's three really important vortexes there that keeps the energy aligned and keeps the energy active there. There's also other portals there as well, that will help with different parts of your spiritual journey. So it's a very important place with so many vortexes and so much energy portals here and so many sacred places. And I know that's why people get called there, to get activated or to further their spiritual journey. Each one of these little holes in the cliffs and little caves and little crevices would be so interesting to sit in and meditate in and look through, because I'm sure if you look through these little windows, you would be going out into another world or another dimension. Some of the beautiful flora that's there, and the beautiful red rock colouring. The beautiful, gorgeous rays of purple and mauves and oranges and pinks that are displayed at Sedona is just incredible, the beautiful colour that comes across. A lot of people around the site make medicine wheels and make labyrinths and make spiritual little sections for people to come into and to stay at their retreats and to absorb the energy. And this is just one of them there. And here's a beautiful another medicine wheel, surrounded by water, which is drawing in the water energy, which is empathizing, and it's actually amplifying that whole area as well. A beautiful artistic piece of Sedona at sunrise. Sitting in certain places in Sedona, you would definitely pick up a lot of orb energy and a lot of light anomalies, and a lot of paranormal things would happen here as well. I see a lot of elders, tribal elders and tribes walking across and walking through the land all the time. It's like a huge, definitely another pathway, another song line for them. I just see them keep traveling across and traveling, and it's like a back and forth thing to me. It's like they would use this canyon to walk through, to get to the next place. Such an incredible place to sit down and meditate, isn't it? Again, with these beautiful circles, and all of them being, very similar in the shapes and sizes, and sitting there and meditating again and looking out through this window. I always find windows very fascinating for the soul, because each window I look through, I know I'm developing a different part of my abilities or a different part of my spiritual growth. So to sit here and to look through all these windows would be fantastic. Beautiful scenic picture of Sedona. So many orbs, as I was saying, so many other people have gone to this cave, the Arch Cave, and have collected pictures of orbs, and it's just fascinating. A lot of paranormal hotspots. Meditating at beautiful Sedona with its gorgeous different arrays of colours. A picture of the cave again. Sitting in one of the majestic caves and looking out to Sedona. Some spiritual photographs that have been taken that captures the essence and captures the light language of this place. And again, the three rings. And a huge orb with some rainbow reflections in it. Beautiful images of rainbows being collected over Sedona. And inside some of the caves are the crystal formations, which in course enhances all the energy of Sedona if it's made from pure crystals inside. And that would be a huge attraction for people to go there to be amplifying the energy of all these crystals and all the mountains. The signpost for the pictographs and the cliff dwellings. The map of the area. Some of the pictographs that are on the site of the ruins. The cliff dwellings. Big cave with some pictographs. An interesting pictograph. This one I'm really drawn to it. I love to put my hand into the middle of that white circle. It looks like sun worshipping to me. And look at the creatures on the side of the cave here. They look like Bigfoots to me. I'm getting Bigfoot energy. I get this is like a tribal name or a tribal signature. One of the tribe's markings. It's like their name is what I pick up. And all the trinities, look, it's saying four trinities that are on that side. That all come from source, that all come from the middle. Another cave with some pictographs. The entrance into the site. This is the waterfall there. And here are some of the pictograph pictures with the spirals and the animals. Looks like a big long dragon to me, or a snake down the bottom. Look at these long tall beams and the square labyrinths. This one's a very unusual rock. So much energy coming out of this one. Another picture graph. Picture graph. With this little being down the bottom with its weird shaped ears or headdress. Very significant, that little one down there. Looks like a tribal member slaughtering an animal down the bottom. And again, these ones with the blurred faces and the three pointed hands just look like Bigfoots to me, or some spiritual being or ancestors of the land. Some interesting designs. Very ET looking figure. Inside in one of the villages. At the end.